What's going on, everybody? Welcome down to another episode of the DJs Guru live Q&A, and today's theme is going to be products that will make you money in 2023. So, hello, everybody. Welcome down. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. It is Tuesday, January 23rd, 2023. Welcome and happy New Year, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well out there. Drop us a line, drop some comments down there, and let us know how your New Year's was. Did you work? Did you gig? Let us know. We always love to hear and engage with all you guys and gals out there. We worked. This guy worked. First time in 2 years we had a gig on New Year's here in New York. And prior to that, I had worked every New Year's Eve, probably since I was like 16, so a good 5 years. And so it was fun. It was fun to get back out there with everything that's changed in my life, in the business here. I had an entirely new system, new everything, new lights, new sound, a new cart. I mean, everything was brand new. It was amazing. And the best part was it was so much better than everything that I had previously and so much smaller and more compact. It really was incredible that I got this whole gig in on one pull and what I was able to do with the products that I had. So anyway, I wanted to just come on today, say hello, and talk about some ways that we could use products to make money. Because really, if we're not doing that, then I'm not doing my job, and we're out there wasting our money on stuff that isn't going to necessarily monetize, So first of all, say thanks to our sponsors at DJSupplyStore.com. Make sure you check us out there. Make sure you're following us on all social media channels at the DJs Guru. If you check out the last couple of reels we did on Instagram, we've got some cool stuff up there. Make sure you're checking us out at the DJsGuru.com as well. And we're always happy to help. And of course, if you have any questions throughout this broadcast or after on the replay, just drop them down below. We're always happy to answer all of your questions. So first thing I wanted to do is talk a little bit about why you should purchase gear, in my opinion, and from my experience now in using it and selling it and marketing it since 1998. And I see and understand this desire to make purchases sometimes that are cool and are fun and are relative to being a DJ or an event professional. However, they don't necessarily give you a major return on the investment because it's not going to change up any type of services that you're offering. It's not really going to add in anything that your clients or your customers are going to be able to say, oh, wow, yes, that new DJ controller is amazing. I'm so impressed by it. I will pay you more money. So DJ controllers, are a great example of the type of device and tool as a DJ that you should always use in a need basis, unless, and I'm speaking to professional DJs here that are out there gigging for money. Listen, if you're a hobbyist and you have money to spend and burn, go for it. Please, djsupply.store.com. Just go on there, use code SAVE and buy whatever you want. But if you're running a business, at the end of the day, I see all these numbers out there about how many gigs and how many this and that and views and Instagram likes and all these vanity numbers that really mean nothing in business. At the end of the day, the only numbers that really matter are profit. And I will tell you, from a startup business here, I had to really look at my 2022 and say, wow, all the vanity numbers are fantastic, but I got to work on the profit. And that is the most important thing. So if your purchases and your investments are not generating you the return, they're not good investments. And are you running a business or not? So that's the first thing you have to decide. If you're running a business, then you have to make purchases in the same way a tradesman would. If you were a carpenter, if you were a contractor, you're going to go out there and you're going to say, all right, what is my business? What am I doing? What do I need to get that done? Okay. And what if this or that happens, right? So you have to kind of think about it in that way and make sure you're purchasing your needs and then go from there. But there's always going to be a baseline and there's always going to be additional levels that you go to as a DJ. So I'm keeping this very, very general. I could be talking to a beginner or I could be talking to a pro right now, but whatever level you're at, there's always going to be a next level and there's going to be gear investments that you're going to need to make. So I think the first thing I want to talk about, because this is one of the things I think that people are sometimes confused about, don't fully understand. And, I'll tell you that as I got back into doing gigs, I realized we're DJs, right? And we learn to play music and get a catalog and mix music together and play it in a way that it keeps people on the dance floor, right? At the end of the day, we work with our clients, we book the parties. There's so many different things that are entailed. We bring equipment out on and we DJ on it, right? Or we walk into a club and we bring our stuff and we play on their equipment, one or the other. But the thought process of, wow, I have to be in charge of making sure that the sound is good, is ready, is enough for what I'm going to have at this event, that has become the role of now of the DJ. We're not just DJs anymore. We're also sound production companies at the same time. And I hope you're pricing accordingly, because you should be understanding what your value is as a DJ there for the time playing money, but you should also understand the value of, hey, this is an equipment rental. Here, you don't have any of this gear. I'm going to allow you to use it for the night. This is the cost of that too. And then you have to kind of merge them together so you get the right value for what you're doing. So anyway, we talk about next level sound upgrade. When I say next level sound upgrade, again, I'm talking to anybody out there. You could be at an entry level with the $129 speakers from Amazon that you made the mistake in purchasing. And now you're like, all right, I can't do anything with these. Where do I go? Right? So it's all a matter of figuring out where you are. And then when I talk about sound upgrades, I always tell customers to don't just think about what you got going on this year. Because if you do that, it's short-sighted. And what happens is, and I've been in selling gear to people, and I've had customers since 1999. So I have so much experience in saying, hey, you might want to maybe go up a step, and then they'll call me back in 6 months and, hey, I should have probably listened to you, man. I'm getting gassed out. I don't have enough sound. I don't. So sometimes what happens is you're doing gigs and you have stuff booked, but things come in, right? Opportunities arise, and who wants to say no because you don't have enough sound, or have to go and run out and buy a whole new upgraded sound system to do a few gigs? Most people will turn that stuff down. Of course, you could always find another production company, but at the end of it, you want to make sure you're buying sound for the next 5 to 10 years if you're going to buy a system that you're going to use a lot. The other thing with this is understand that there is no one size fits all system. So if you're at a certain level right now, a lot of people will sell their gear, right? I recommend not selling your gear. I mean, unless it's completely beat up and not worth anything to you, I don't see the point of selling it. I say keep it and utilize it for those other types of gigs that they were designed for, and then use your larger system for the larger gigs that you're going to charge more for. And ultimately, I literally just closed a sale today for RCF NXL 24As, and this was to a customer who basically said that back to me, and I was so happy to hear it because he said, hey, I may not use this more expensive system more than 6-7 times a year, but my company is one that I want to make sure I have the right tool for the job. I want to make sure that I have, even if it's sitting 60% of the year, when I do need it, I'm going to price it accordingly. I'm going to profit from it, and it's going to be the right tool for the job, making my brand look and sound great. And that's the other thing, is that if you don't have the right tool for the job, you're going to be in a room and people never know when it sounds good as much as they know when it sounds bad. And that's when people are going to come up to you and say, can you turn it up? Or, this doesn't sound right. That's always kind of the way that it goes. So the important thing to know is that you have to really think about what you're doing, and don't just buy the next hot thing, and understand that there are different ways to build sound systems. So the first thing I want to say is this is a couple of products for me personally that I've seen that have made me money, right? And this could be any portable column array system. LD Maui 44 is very comparable to the RCF Evox 12, but I 3 years ago purchased the RCF Evox 12, and it was a massive upgrade for me in a lot of ways, but ultimately allowed me to increase the size of the events that I was doing marginally, but it allowed me to start to understand how to build sound systems and sound reinforcement on top of things that you might already have. So, for example, Evox 12, let's say you have this system and you need more juice, right? What I see circulating on social media as advice, which is not good advice, just add another sub. That's not good advice. Bad advice. Because if you just add another sub, yeah, you're going to have more bass, but most likely your tops are not going to be able to keep up now with the bottoms. And now you don't have balanced sound, and you just kind of did yourself a disservice, because at the end of the day, it's really, does it sound better if you just add more low end? It doesn't, and the right way to do that, and what I found and what I did was, if you have a portable column array like that, 2 ways. And then I wound up with ART 910s that I would space out at the right position. And I was able to kind of couple those in situations where I needed a little bit more sound. Now, if you need more sound than that, it's time to go to the next level and to get a bigger sound system. I've seen people buy 2 portable column arrays for each side and literally put them next to each other, which to me is a little, I don't understand it. I'm not trying to insult anybody or anything like that. I've seen it many times, so I'm not speaking about anyone personally, but I've seen just things out there, and it's just not the right way to do it. But ultimately, we're talking about products that make you money, right? A product that makes you money is going to be better sound. And at the end of the day, better sound is this. It's enough sound for the room that you're in. And it's your job, it's your responsibility to understand what that is. People hire you for your expertise. And for me, I always go to a room if I've never been there, do a site check, and I say, all right, I look around and I say, what am I going to need to do this? And then I price it accordingly, because I know that if I go into this room with what they were willing to pay for, it's going to sound like crap. And who is the brand behind that sound? It's us. So you got to protect your brand in that sense. And I'd rather turn a job down, honestly, than not be able to do it the right way. So that's me. When it comes to sound, lighting is another story, but sound, it's either you have enough or you don't. And when you don't, it's a disaster. It's just not good. And the last thing I will say about sound, and I'll kind of move in, and I want to show you a couple of things that I thought. I showed you the Evox 12, but I always thought, oh goodness, sorry about that. I always thought that, man, I don't think anybody cares about the sound. I don't think it matters. I don't think it makes you money. Lighting makes you money. Lighting offers you services, atmospheric effects, all these different types of things. But as I got back into doing this and I understood, well, simply sound is infrastructure, right? So if you don't have enough of it, you can't do the gig. So if you want to get the bigger gigs that are more expensive just from the scale, you have to have the sound. If you don't have the sound, you can't even throw your hat in the ring. So having sound will make you money, and of anything, the right sound system would give you the best return on investment of anything. So you really have to think about it and understand what your needs are, the type of venues you're doing, inside, outside. There's so many variables that go into it. There is not a one-size-fits-all system. I want everyone to understand that. And listen, this is one of the things that we really excel at here is helping people to find the right tools and pieces to put together for what you're doing out there. And everyone's doing something different. You could be in a barn with 100-foot ceilings. It's like you could be in a standard catering hall. You could be outside. You could be in all these different places. But it's all personal, and it all is different. And what works for one does not work for the other. And that's where we can come in and help. So any questions on sound, on how we can help you to make money with sound, let us know. We did put together a great ELX 200 package. If you're looking for an inexpensive white, here I am. I'm over here now. A white system that is not going to break the bank, and you still like the great two-way style design with an 18-inch sub. This is a fantastic package from Electro Voice. I wanted to highlight that because it doesn't really get talked about enough, I feel like. And there's so many portable column arrays out there that now are white and kind of taking over that look. But if you're looking for a really solid, and this is like an under $4,500 system, and it sounds fantastic, looks great, and is just a really, really good way to go. So wanted to throw that out there. And next thing I want to talk about is Cold Spark machine. I use the JMAS Firestorm F3. I've sold the Pro X Blitz, 3 or 4 variations of it. The new one has the white covers, right? So those are very cool. Personally, I've used the Firestorm. I don't really care. I'm not here to sell gear in a sense of I'm picking product. It's more about the category and saying it's a product that's going to make you money. So this is a fun little video that came out of nowhere. It was like totally by accident. I didn't even know these girls were behind me, but I bring the cold sparklers out occasionally because they're, they're involved. You need powder, you need to operate it, and I want to make sure I'm getting paid accordingly for these. But nothing gets me the attention or the requests. Like, well, there's a couple of things, but this is one of the top ones. So this was maybe a week and a half ago. We did a big holiday party, and what we do, and when I do events, I work with a couple of DJs, but one in particular that has these really great events, and we get to go into these venues that don't normally do the type of events that we do, and we completely transform their rooms a lot of times. I've had situations where I literally walked into the room and said, "Can we just turn off all your lighting, and I'll bring in everything?" And we did that. So anyway, we have a lot of fun, and it gives me a great opportunity to really bring the gear out there and test it out. And the Cold Spark machine is a great investment. It will generate you income. It will make you money. Here's the big thing with Cold Spark, and I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, and they said, "I heard XYZ machine clogs a lot." And I said, "Well, name me one that you haven't heard that about." And he couldn't, because there is none. And at the end of the day, listen, I've taken phone calls since 1999 from every DJ probably in the country at some point. And no insults to anybody. I've been there myself, and I've talked people through a lot of problems, right? But most of the issues that I find with gear are user related, one way or the other, right? So, and myself included, I had a problem with the Firestorm. I've said this to people. I don't lie about anything. So when I first got it, I had a problem with the Firestorm. It clogged, right? But I know that at the end of the gig, when I first used it, I did not do the maintenance properly. I didn't empty out the tank. I didn't run the stuff clean the right way. Honestly, I wasn't even 100% sure how to do it. I literally got it like the day before, and I busted it right out, and it worked great. And I was just so excited at the end of the gig. I just wanted to get out of there. But anyway, I went to go use it or test it out a few weeks later, and it needed to be replaced. Luckily, the company easily replaced it for me. It was great. But at the end of this last gig that you just saw that video from, at the end of the gig, you unplug it, you take the cap off, shake it out, you make sure everything is out, plug it back in, you run as a self-cleaning option on it. I don't have my remote in front of me, but this is on the Firestorm F3, by the way. You run the self-cleaning, it shoots these little sparks out, essentially the same way you would run a clean on an oven. It just burns everything out, and it's ready to go for the next time. So I haven't had any issues now since, other than that first one, which was my fault, since 21, and I probably used it, I don't know, 8 to 10 times, which is not as good. The more you use it, the less likely you're going to have a problem, unless you use something like this, fluid-based or powder-based. The more likely you are to have a problem, as it sits the same way with a car, right? If you don't drive a car for a year, it's not going to start up very good. So anyway, I just really believe that the Cold Spark machine is something that is a worthy investment. I really believe that it's the Firestorm. Comes in chrome and black. But I really do believe that it is a great, it's a great item to buy. I mean, the content that you get from it, listen, it's fireworks. So, as far as can I use it in my area, that's a regional thing. That's something you got to call the catering halls and really see what the story is. I bring it into places that I can. I use it a lot outside. I'm doing different types of events than a lot of my customers. I don't do a lot of weddings, but so it's different. I'm not inside as much, and when I am, I'm not using the cold spark too much. But when I do, it's incredible. I can pretty much uh, name my price for it. They just want it, and it just pays for itself. It's very simple. At the end of the day, this thing could pay. They generally pay for themselves after the first few gigs. So if you don't have a cold spark machine, definitely look into it. If you have any questions, of course, drop them down below. Saying hello to Monarch Event Services. What's going on, man? How are you? Just saying hello to everybody out there. Again, thank you for watching. We're going through some products that I personally have used to make money with over the last 3 years that I've sold to many people that make them money. We're talking about, products that are worthy of investing in. Next thing I'm going to talk about synchronized lighting. They need to create a battery for the F3. They did, and then it just, I don't want to say it didn't work. It just, at the end of the day, the battery needed to do it is too expensive. And it really prices the machine out in the marketplace. So it would be a fantastic addition. I'm not saying it won't come eventually, but it's just tricky. It's tricky. But thank you for your comment, Ezra. Hope you're doing well. I know you're a big J-Maz fan over there in Cali. So let's talk about synchronized lighting. And there's a lot of ways you can go about this. Now, everyone is pretty, I think, aware that I am a big fan of Ape Labs products. Now, I will tell you that of all the products that I purchased and I've gotten my hands on and I have some new brands and some new friends that I work with, but Ape Labs has been the one that I think excites me the most. I think it does the most for the rooms that I'm in, and it really does separate me from a lot of the other event companies in my area. And hey, by the way, event companies in my area, if you're interested, contact me. I'll hook you up on anything Ape Labs. I am not looking to be the only one that's using it. It's a fantastic product, and it really just has changed the game for me. So I talk about Ape Labs because for me, synchronized lighting is very simple, right? The lighting moves. It's not just static when necessary. Of course, we don't want lighting moving throughout the entire event. During dance sets, let's say, right? Lighting moves, but in synchronization with the music. And whatever amount of light you have within your lighting universe, right? A lighting universe is 512 DMX channels, and then however many lights I have within that. So in that universe, I want all the lights to be coordinated. I like Ape Labs because I could do it with this. Or I could do it with this, and the Ape Labs Connect. And then it has the only real true sound active mode called music mode that with a slip of a button, you literally have a lighting technician in the palm of your hand. And now your entire lighting setup, depending on what you're using with Ape Labs, is coordinated to the music in a way that is never going to produce the same look twice, because it uses this incredible algorithm that is constantly changing, listening to the music. And I will tell you that I've literally watched the science behind synchronized lighting at an event, and then been to events where it's not. And at my events, it always is. I go to events where it's not, and they have flashy flash lights up here doing their own thing, and it's on sound active mode, but it's really not, and it just throws off the vibe, the energy in the room. It just it's annoying. I mean, at the end of the day, it's annoying. Nobody likes light flashing in their eyes. I don't know who does. Nobody wants lasers pointing in their face. But I love to be surrounded by nice, warm lighting. And if that lighting is now moving to the beat of the music, I'm even happier because now it's kind of within the vibe of the energy that I'm in right now. I'm gonna do a little something here for you guys. Let's see what we got. It's just simple. I got a couple coins behind me. Oh! Anyway, but that's music mode. I mean, and that's just 2 coins. I still got it on auto here. By the way, each one of the buttons on here has a hold and press function that will allow it to do more. So, for instance, if I wanted to turn off all the groups at one time, if I hold and press, I can do it. I can turn them all on or I can turn them all off. I don't know if anyone knew that, but every single one of these buttons has the long press option that will automatically push it to the farthest point. Pretty cool. Anyway, so that's Ape Labs music mode, but that's just an example of synchronized lighting. You heard the song, you heard how the beat was going, how the lights went and followed that. Now, there's a lot of ways to get there, right? We can program lights. We can have a lighting technician to literally do it live, right? We can use something like Sound Switch. Fantastic program. If you are computer savvy and everything that I've heard, I've never really dove in. I never have dove into. I don't think that's right, but I'm just gonna go with it. Into Sound Switch, but everyone that I speak to that has used it loves it and says it's not as hard as you think it is. ADJ WMX1 has been a game changer for a lot of people. We had a special a couple weeks ago. A bunch of people picked it up and they all absolutely love it. It's a hybrid, right? So it's a little bit more, well, it's a lot more than just a remote, but it's not software. It's a hybrid. It's a standalone DJ tactile styled lighting controller that then also has built-in visualizations and programs and things like that you can access once you have the profile of the light or if you create your own profile. So again, whatever you decide to do, you should have something. You should have something. Denny D, what's up, man? He's had Ape Labs lights for almost 3 years. Music mode is the best. It sure is. It really, really is. For the right customer. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a sec. But anyway, it really just comes down to synchronized lighting. Synchronized lighting will enhance your brand. It'll make your company look better. It'll make you stand out from the rest. I mean, whenever I go and do these rooms that I work in and then other companies work in, there's always a different crowd. And that crowd has made me feel great, actually, because they'll say, we know when you're here. It's obvious when you're here. And that means the world to me. So that's branding. That's what you're looking for. That's how people call you. And you don't have to go out there searching for business. They're going to call you because you're good at what you do. And that's how you really start to grow, right? Combination of, I'm going to advertise, of course, but word of mouth is gold, right? And actually becoming I just watched something on Roger Stone, right? It just became, who is Roger Stone? And then go get me Roger Stone. Terrible example. I don't like the guy or whatever, but he's good at what he does. I'll give him that. I respect that. But it happens like that. And wait, who was that guy that, who was that DJ, that girl that did this room? Oh, go get me her. Go get me him. And that's how it happens. So anyway, synchronized lighting, I think, comes back to the science of a great event, which is clean sound, synchronized lighting, everything being in unison, everything working together. You're not only a sound person, you're not only a DJ, you're also an event planner. Your job during this event is to walk the room. Talked about this on our live stream with Jason and Cleveland and Aaron and Jordan and Switch. And the art of walking the room, right? If I'm playing a song and I've got a 2-minute, 3-minute gap, I'm going to go quickly and walk around the room. I want to hear what the guests are hearing. I want to feel what the guests are feeling and understand, all right, do I need to lower it? What do I need to do? But you have to always have that finger on the pulse. Anyway, so that's synchronized lighting. So whether it's buying a controller, whether it's purchasing uplighting from Ape Labs using music mode, and music mode is really the game changer for the solo ops, for many event professionals that, don't want to do anything more than just hold this remote. And you can get a lot out of just this remote. Of course, there's always going to be a limit, right? But from what I can tell, a lot of people are still just throwing up lights on in static and then putting up all-in-one styled lighting bar. And, I would just say, you know what? Get some active uplighting or some synchronized uplighting and get rid of the bar. You'll be fine without it. If that's all doing what it's, around the room is pulsating, you're going to be good. All right. Let's talk about the next thing I think that is important for people to understand and to see. But this is something that's going to make you money. A battery-powered speaker, PA speaker. So I'm pointing at the Thump Go, but we could also talk about LD Systems Maui 5 Go. We could also talk about the eVerse 8 from Electro Voice, the Eon 1 Pro from JBL. It doesn't really matter. The one that I'm mentioning are the one that I have experience with that I know are good quality products that will give you a great return on investment. But by buying an item like this, you literally are buying a service, okay? I'll explain to you how it's a service in a couple of different ways. So, obviously, we see this as DJs and we say, oh, I can use it for cocktail hour. I can use it for ceremony. Absolutely. That's the first thing that you can do with it. And, you have Bluetooth, you have built-in mixers here. You have all of the different bells and whistles. And most of these battery-powered PA speakers have a lot of the same features. The Thump Go is actually kind of on the lower end entry level where it's the least robust mixer. Sounds just as good as the Eon 1 Compact and that's really the only one I've kind of done an A/B with, but just a little less robust on the mixer and just the overall build quality, but sounds fantastic. But either way, I'll show you just really quickly. Like, you don't have to just use it for that. I sometimes I'll use it for DJ monitor. It's so much easier than having to bring a 10-inch powered speaker, plugging it in. The other night at the New Year's Eve gig that I was doing, I needed sound reinforcement. Where's my picture? There it is. I needed sound. I don't know if you can really see that, but I needed sound reinforcement. And that's a Mackie Thump Go. Kind of in a corner, hidden behind balloons, with an X5 U3 connected to it. So I'm wirelessly transmitting signal from my DJ setup, which was in the other room, but they didn't want anything to be seen. I didn't want any polls. They wanted nothing through the traffic areas. So I was able to use my Thumb Go for sound reinforcement, right? So there's so many different ways to use these products, but this, by purchasing it, you're going to use it. You're going to use it for a million different things. If you're not using it at every gig for a studio, for a monitor, right? DJs should use monitors. If you're not using it for a monitor, then you can use it during your PA, during your cocktail, for sound reinforcement. I use this thing at home all the time. You know, I did a Halloween party for a friend. I didn't charge him. He's a buddy. Am I going to bring a big system? No. I brought the Thumb Go and my Prime Go, and we had a great party. It was awesome. So, but at the end of the day, this product will pay for itself because it allows you to offer additional services through cocktail PA systems. Send it out by itself with somebody else on a smaller gig. If you're doing something that they just need audio for announcements, there's so many different ways. But whatever the battery powered speaker is that you decide on, it's going to be a great purchase, and it's going to be something that you're going to use as a tool that's going to enhance your business and will make you money, will get you a return on that investment because it's going to allow you to do more. And that's the big thing. You want to be more flexible. You want to be more versatile in what you can do with the products that you have, right? We're tradesmen, we're DJs, but we're tradesmen, tradeswomen, and we have to have the right tools to do the jobs. All right, so that's a battery-powered PA speaker. Dual microphone system is definitely something that I would say, and we've had a lot of great luck with the JTS dual microphone system, but having another wireless microphone available to you in the same system is dynamite. So if you're out there looking to purchase a new microphone this year, a wireless microphone system, you should seriously consider a dual, because by having two in one, it's going to always give you the ability to do more. You won't need to hook up anything additional, another receiver. It's just something that makes a lot of sense. And then again, you then can use that same system if you need to at an event, if you're doing a ceremony or you're doing something else where they need public address, where you can use now two speakers at one time. You know, kind of goes without saying that a dual microphone system makes sense, but I think a lot of times people forget that they're out there or that it's such a great tool. And definitely something I would say is a product that will pay for itself and will allow you to offer more services to help you to make more money. All right. Here's something. And if you guys have any questions out there, please let us know. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. The big thing now are smart lines of infrastructure and lighting. What do I mean by that? So whether it be your DJ booth, your DJ furniture, trussing, you know, LED tube lighting has become something that's become very, very popular. But at the end of the day, presentation is key. And a big, big thing when it comes to running a really successful business in anything, but especially as a DJ, because kind of what we do, right? It's kind of what we do. And we're looked at as being the cool people, the party people, so we should really make sure that we're looking and appearing and presenting ourselves in the best light possible. And by the ways of doing that, I call them smart lines of infrastructure. So whatever it may be, it's just got to be symmetrical. It has to have a look, and it has to have balance. So that way, and I'm talking about balance between the actual physicality of it, and then the lighting and what you have going on as far as any type of effect. So you don't want to have too much going on in the front. You know, you want it to be balanced. You want it to be tasteful. And I have found, when I say smart lines, I have found that less is more. You know, I don't have any pictures right now of setups that I want to show, but I think you could get an idea of what I mean, just understanding that the front of you is important, and you have to really look at it in a way that the customer may look at it, you know, and then say, okay, impressions are everything, right? Especially first impressions. So if someone's walking into that room, they want to look over the DJ and be like, all right, yeah, it looks great. It may play horrible music, but at least the first impression is good. You don't want to start off with a bad impression. And again, that goes back to the science of DJing and running a good event. Lighting, the right look, and the right sound is everything to at least give you the basis of having a great event. Because if any of those three things are off, you're already going to be at a disadvantage. So smart lines, truss. You know, I love truss totems. I don't see them as much, but I still love global truss, F34 box truss, aluminum, polished, brushed look with truss warming, but just the overall straight line of it, you know, with the background, the way that I kind of set everything up, to me looks fantastic. And listen, go with what you think looks best, not what other people think looks best. It's got to work for you. It really does. And if you think it looks great and your clients think it looks great and you're making money and everything is working out the way that it should, who cares what anybody else says and who cares what anybody else thinks or is doing? As long as you're staying with the trends. I do think that's important. I'm not saying just use whatever you have for the next 20 years and who cares how it looks. I'm just saying that everyone's tastes are different, and there's so many different variations of an event nowadays, of a party. So everyone's taste is different. Got to look good. It's got to sound good. Danny D knows what is up. Thank you for your comment, Danny. But so that's just the look. What's going to make you money this year, product-wise? Symmetrical products. I use the well sticks from Chauvet Professional, and I use them in a lot of different ways, but always in a symmetrical way. We're on stages a lot, so it allows me to produce a more grand presentation without necessarily bringing a lot more infrastructure. So the LED tubes, whether it be a Stick XL from Ape Labs with the floor mount, whether it be the Astera tube that I've heard and seen a lot, not that I don't carry them, but a lot of people are using those with great success. The Well Sticks 180, which I have, they've worked fantastic. Another thing that I have gotten requests for, can you bring those sticks? Can you bring those sticks? Yeah, I can bring those sticks. It's going to cost you this much. So those are definitely products and presentations that will get you more requests, right? Products that make you money aren't always just about, wow, I was able to sell this booth for X amount. No, it's the whole thing, and then your brand looking better because of the right tasteful products put out the right way, used the right way. All right. I'm going to talk about one last thing, and then I'm getting out of here, man. I'm getting out of here. Hope everyone's doing great on this Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a great 2023 so far. I am definitely, and I do appreciate everybody watching. Excuse me. I do appreciate everybody watching, and we're here to help. So if there's anything we can do to help you for 2023, please let us know. You check us out at thedjsguru.com. Go to the contact form there and shoot us an email. We'll get back to you right away and set up a phone call if needed. We are here to help, and doing this in a different way. I can tell you all about the products that we sell. I can tell you from experience and from the other side of I've sold them to people, and this is what they said they didn't like. This is what they said that didn't work for them or did work out well. So I'm lucky to have a very unique perspective, not just of what I'm doing with it, but what all of our customers are doing as well. So anyway, we're always here to help. And if you have any comments or questions as you watch this now or on the replay, please drop them down below. Last thing I'm going to talk about, did I say last? Do I have two more things? I think I have two more things. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, we'll go quick. All right. So I'm going to tell you that if you don't have a Denon DJ Prime Go, this is an investment, a product, a tool. To me, might be one of the best DJ tools that I've ever encountered overall because of just how much you can do with it. I'll show you a quick little video we put together. And here we go. Is this it?
Give it to me like...
So funny. So that's a reel we just put up today on Instagram at the DJs Guru. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at the DJs Guru. We're putting up. My goal is to try to do a reel a day of really good information. It's not as easy as you would think. Anyway, so it's funny because I've now used the Prime Go on several gigs, and I'm not a usual DJ controller guy. I learned on turntables. I moved to CDJ 1000, 2000. Now I'm on 3000s, and that's just what we did. I'm a house music DJ for my whole life that dabbles in pop music occasionally. But I did a million weddings, don't get me wrong, but I never really enjoyed playing the music. Just wasn't my thing, but I could do it, no problem. So anyway, now that I'm back to doing some events, here and there, I will take a smaller thing, and I'm not bringing out my CDJ 3000s and my DJM 900 mixer. So I needed a controller, and I had the Prime 4, and I'm like, this thing's just as big as my CDJs. What's the deal? And anyway, I moved down to the Prime Go because I said, well, number one, I do a lot of reviews, right? It's nice to have this battery-powered controller to go out and do my reviews with for a lot of different things. I've done reviews with it with a battery-powered speaker and didn't need any power. It was fantastic. So that was part one. Part two was I'm going to use it as a tool. So we did this big thing at here on Long Island. It's called Adventureland. It's a big amusement park, but we did a few benefits there, but I had an event there where it wasn't necessary for me to bring out the big system. We used the Prime Go. And I had a serious system. We needed multiple microphones. We needed auxiliary inputs. I had to connect to the house system in the park. And the Denon DJ Prime Go did it all. It literally did not restrict me whatsoever. And this New Year's, I used it, and I talked about this on Instagram, but again, I go and do a New Year's Eve gig, and it's a little bit out of my comfort zone because I'm not used to playing the pop music. I'm aware of it. I have a 6-year-old daughter who, listen, 6-year-old girls probably know music better than anybody. But of course, I keep up on things, but I don't always know the names, and then you have to go and you have to curate and you have to get it, right? So having that Prime Go with the streaming capability, with Tidal, with the knowledge that, and I streamed the whole event. I was on the Wi-Fi. They gave me the password there. It was fantastic. I streamed the whole event. Okay, not a problem. Yes, I had a backup in case, of course, but I said I'm gonna try to stream this whole thing. Made playlists on Tidal. I downloaded stuff from Zip DJ as well, but I didn't really use a lot of that. Mostly was streaming. And the great thing about having that internet connection and having Tidal right there was that anxiety that you might get, and I'm sure we've all had it, of not having the song that they asked for was gone, because I'm not gonna know. How can you know what everyone's gonna want? So it's really nice to be able to not have to download a song and go through a whole process. Just type it in, and then, oh yeah, there it is. And then you go and you put it on to the next track. It analyzes it in a few seconds, and now you can play it. A song I played 3 or 4 songs I never heard of before in my life on New Year's, and it was simply because they did the thing. They put the phone up. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got that. Nice. So it was great. Of course, we can all do that on our computers, right? Of course. But it's really a nice thing to be able to do it from one device. One device, It was great. And the big thing was for me, I thought I was going to have a week to get prepared for the music. And then my daughter came down with the flu last week. So my week was shot, and I had like only a few hours when I finally was able to free myself up to download music, and it made it so much easier. So the Prime Go is definitely something that will, as a DJ controller, I use that at the beginning as an example of what not to buy, but it is going to be one of the best tools you'll ever buy as a DJ. And just to have it as a tool available to you is something that I believe every DJ should have. Ceremony, cocktail, obviously there's, you could use the battery out there, but then just as a regular controller, it's fantastic. The battery to me is almost like a secondary thing because I don't really use it that much, but to know it's there is amazing. And many people use it with just the battery. So anyway, it's not a new product, obviously. None of these really are, but I just wanted to bring that up. And lastly, I think I said that like 10 times. The last thing is this will make you money. The Club Cannon MK2. Hello. The Club Cannon MK2 package. Okay, I'm going to drop links and everything in the comments here. That's available at djeventgear.com. But I've told this story now 100 times, but worked out a great relationship with Club Cannon. I got one after buying the China version that did not work properly for me, and I've never looked back. And as soon as I started bringing it to these events, we literally built our model around, our event model around CO2 and cold spark and these different effects that really make a huge impact. And the CO2 gun makes a huge impact. If you go to the DJsGuru.com, there's tons of content on there about it. You can learn about it. If you don't have any current information, of course, you can reach out to us with any questions you have as well. But man, the Club Cannon CO2 for me, considering it's a under $450 cost, that thing essentially will print you money once you get the basis down and you understand how to sell it properly, how to get the CO2, how much you need. It's all going to be different for everybody. But once you get it going, I just got tagged in from someone that had purchased it from us a couple of weeks ago, and they're making marketing videos with it. So just for a marketing video to say, hey, we have this, look what we do. It's different than just somebody going out there and playing music. It's just a great tool. So anyway, Club Cannon CO2 gun, check it out at djeventgear.com. I want to say thank you to everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure you're checking us out at the DJsGuru.com. Make sure you're following us on all social media at the DJs Guru. And most importantly, we are here to help. So any questions you have, go to the DJsGuru.com, go to the contact form. We are here to answer the questions for you. And then, listen, I would love to earn everyone's business. And that's what we're looking for, right? Of course. But I don't expect everyone to buy everything from us. It's just not the way it's ever going to be. I would love it. I hope that everyone does. But, of course, we don't expect that. But don't be afraid to reach out with a question because, yeah, maybe we don't, strike a deal on this interaction, but there's always another interaction. So I'm here to help. Please reach out to us whenever you have a question, and we'll be here for you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm going to close it out here with, I like this song here. It's pretty hot. You ready? Do a little music mode. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Dead to me, R.I.P. Berry. 무리들이 몰려온다 사자해라 미리. Dead to me, R.I.P. Berry. 무릎 꿇고 고개 숙여 반성해라 피리. 왜 이래요? 잘못 오셨네요. 상관없는 자에게는 묻지 마세요. 손 깨끗이 씻고 and I live to tell the tale. 무시 박히기 했지만 coffin and a nail. Very so deep in your excrete. 누구 탓해? 난 네가 한지. I've been mute, I've been discreet. 얼마나 사람들 알아 나 in these streets. 시끄러워